2016 was a big season, of course. I was in great form through the whole year. First one I won was Papendal, really cool, of course, and then finished it up with 2 other wins in the US. 3 out of 5 wins, well, that was pretty big for me.
Oh, the season was awesome. Basically, that Olympic year, you want to come in and have your best year you can. So I went into Argentina really prepared. That was cool to be able to go there and get that win, and then that confidence always kept me going fast, no matter what race I went to.
The Olympic Training Center in Papendal, the Netherlands, played host to the first and second rounds of the 2017 UCI Supercross World Cup Tour. The training center sits just outside Arnhem in the middle of the beautiful province of Gelderland in the central eastern part of the country. – 2017 sees the introduction of a new World Cup format. The time trials are now gone and the qualifying motos have been replaced by Round 1. An exciting last chance qualifier round has now been added for riders who fail to qualify in the rounds.
There's been so many times where I've had a day where, I was going good all day and I made a small mistake. If that does happen, you do have a second day. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good weekend.
Having 2 race days instead of 1, I think relieves the pressure a little bit of coming out and having to perform. I think breaking it up into 2 days each weekend is going to be good.
After a World Cup day, it's like, man, I am drained. So it's going to be interesting to see that, okay, now we got to do it all again tomorrow.
The track was rebuilt in 2016 as a replica of the Olympic track in Rio. As one of the longest tracks on the circuit, it forces riders to pace themselves to keep enough energy in the tank for one last push at the line.
It's a technical track from the first turn to the finish, so you just gotta keep focused, just staying smooth.
The track's the same as last year. It's big, wide open.
The track is actually really smooth, it's fast.
The first straight is pretty wide and open. You can really make some speed there.
The race can be won down the first straight, hitting the triple into the first turn. I think that's going to be huge. Everyone who ends up winning it generally is jumping the triple into the turn.
Triple into the first turn, that's pretty a big key for us. I've won 2 other ones without jumping the triple, but it's easier if you do it.
The track's really big, especially the second straight. You have to be really focused on getting the backsides and keeping the speed.
The corners, they're big, everything's super wide open, so there's a lot of passing going on. So you better bring your corner skills when you come here.
On the third straight, it's a pretty hard straight to go full speed on. So it's really key to just have a clean third straight. Do not make any mistakes and just keep up your speed.
You can hit everything full speed. You don't have to back off no matter what.
The weather here in Papendal is always a factor where windy conditions continue to challenge the riders at each of the events.
The only part that gets tricky is when it's windy, and Papendal is known for its winds.
Back in 2014, riders had to deal with thunderstorms and then pouring rain in 2015.
If the weather is going to stay like this, we can actually race each other instead of the track.
2017's looking good though, with blue skies and a light wind going into Round 1. Round 1 saw the introduction of the new race format with a surge of new riders starting their journey towards the Tokyo Olympics in 2020. The size of the round is dependent on the size of the field. The start of the qualifying saw 24 heats for the men and 6 for the women. The field is quickly cut in half, with the top 4 going through to the single elimination rounds. The bottom 4 riders from each of the heats now go into the last chance round, with the top 4 making it through to the single elimination rounds. Then it's a tense journey through each elimination round, with the top 4 qualifying through.
And there we see elite men heading up for the semi.
It's my home track. I've won it before. Last year I got semi, so I just want to make my way to the main and we'll see from there.
We're waiting for the call. Looks like we're official.
Semi 1 saw Nick Kimmen and Dave Vanderberg jump out to the early lead, but Torrey Nijhag made a bold inside pass in turn 1 to split up the Dutchman.
making a move into second.
Kimmin was forced to the outside and Connor Fields filled the gap, sliding himself into third.
Vandenberg looking strong. Nyhog and Fields 3 and 4.
Renkurl then fought it out with Bodie Turner for the final and fourth spot, but Turner made the cut.
So Vandenberg, Nyhog, Fields, and Turner was the official. Semi number 2. Ready to go.
In the second semi, Twan Van Gent and Sylvain Andre got the best lines, taking them into first and second as they entered turn 1. Daudet got stuck in the pack but took the inside line on the first turn to work his way into third.
Van Gent running away with it. Van Gent, Andre, and Daudet.
Jared Garcia crashed hard in the second berm, taking him out of the running. Kai Sakakibara and Tristan Kronk went head-to-head for the final spot, with Sakakibara just squeaking it out at the line.
Twan Van Gent, Andre, Daudet, Sakakibara.
The women's final featured a battle between the reigning Supercross champ and the Olympic gold medalist. Both Mariana Pahon and Laura Smulders have also won twice on this track and were ready to go.
Judy Bao, she's been riding so well today. 89, the Russian, Bondarenko. She has a smile, she's happy to be there, look at that. The 100 bike, the golden girl, Mariana Pahon.
I'm just gonna do a really good gate and focus on my first straight, doing a really clean lap and fast.
Lauren Smulders from the Netherlands.
I'm feeling really good and I'm going very fast. Of course, I want to be on the podium again. I think I've got a good shot.
So here we are, the elite women's final. They're off. Smulders makes the move. Pahon says, I'll let you have that for right now. Smulders and Pahon 1 and 2 into the second corner with Bao in third.
But it's the Russian with the old school high-low moving over for that second place. But it's Smulders, the Russian, Bondarenko, Bao, and Christensen for the fourth. Wow.
Smulders had to pass Pahon in turn 1 and then rode her way to her third victory on the storied course. The top 8 men had fought their way through the heats to make their way into the big show, the main event.
So we will take you up close and personal. Looks like number 49, Tori Nyhog from Canada.
I decided to pick outside in the main and give myself a clean shot down the first straight.
Next to him is the Olympic champion, Connor Fields.
Joris and I, we've been battling for the last 3-4 years. I think we both bring out the best in each other.
Next to him is Connor Fields' teammate on Chase, Joris Daudet, the world champion.
I like to be consistent, to be up for every title that I ride.
We have the Dutch national champion, number 192, Vandenberg. Next to him is Sylvain Andre from Cavaillon, France.
2 days ago I was missing something like in my head or whatever, like sometimes you can feel bad and turn a bad lap into a good day.
And next to him is Twan Van Gent, who just laid down one burner of a semi. Lane 1, Twan Van Gent. Waiting for the call. Out of the gate, looks like Sylvain Andre got out decently. But Connor Fields and now Vandenberg just pulling away. Vandenberg is just making it happen. Turner in third now.
Vandenberg nice and strong through this third section. From the outside is the Frenchman, Andre.
The camera says it's a photo finish, but Andre's feeling like he won it.
Frenchman Sylvain Andre took the top spot for his first Supercross win.
Really happy that I won the first World Cup here at Papendal in front of the home crowd on my home track. It feels amazing.
Obviously, it's going to boost my confidence for the next race here, so I'm going to try to keep that momentum going. I'll keep this one as my best result so far, and I'll try to repeat it.
That's a wrap for the first round of the UCI World Cup from Papendal, the Netherlands. Next up comes round 2 and a chance for the runners-up from round 1 to fight for redemption.
I've been riding and training hard for 1 month now, and I'm feeling like I'm getting there again. I want to do better than yesterday. I want to win everything. It's because I love it. It's my passion. So it's really easy to just go and ride again.
The UCI has changed the race format in 2017, and now the riders have the challenge of back-to-back rounds.
Yeah, day 2. You know, these 2-day races are tough. It's exhausting, and it's a real mental battle. You just have to take it one thing at a time.
Woke up and I felt a little tired, of course. We had a big day yesterday, long hours, and then riding again. But this morning I felt great. I'm really looking forward to it, feeling good. So hopefully I'm gonna do the same as yesterday. Just great starts and smooth laps, and we'll see what happens at the end of the day. Nice weather again, so I think it's gonna be awesome racing and an awesome crowd.
Semi 1 saw a clash of the champions with Mariana Pajón and Laura Smulders in lanes 1 and 2. The intensity was just too much for Smulders as she cased the first jump and fell behind the leaders. Judy Bau and Simone Christensen tucked in for 2nd and 3rd on the 2nd straight.
Pajón and Bau, 1 and 2. Christensen closing the gap just a bit with Smulders by herself in 4th.
Pajón coming through, taking these girls on a day trip.
Smulders kept pace though and used her track skills to claw her way back into 2nd at the line.
I didn't really have a great lap. I collapsed a little bit in the bottom of the hill, cased the first jump, and I was in 4th. Luckily, I finished 2nd behind Mariana.
With the top 8 women now headed to their final, it was time for the men to battle through the semifinals.
We're waiting for the call.
Joris Daudet shot out to the early lead, shutting down Kyle Evans before turn 1. Kimmin forced his way across the track from gate 7 into 2nd position as the group exited turn 1.
Right now it's Daudet, Andre, and Nijhag with Kimmin in 4th.
It's going to be a race to the finish, but it looks like it's going to be the world champ of Joris Daudet.
Round 1 winner Sylvain Andre hung on for 2nd with Tori Nijhag in 3rd.
It just goes to show that, you know, the hard work's paying off, and that's a fantastic feeling, and definitely going to take this into the next race.
Heat 2, Turner Fields, Van Gent, Dean, Matthew, Ramirez, Bernhardt, and Mir.
In the men's 2nd semi, Connor Fields soon closed out Bodie Turner coming out of lane 1. Maheu trailed Fields around the track with Van Gent close behind.
We have Fields, Maheu, and Van Gent with Mir in 4th.
Ramirez had the 3rd straight fully dialed and made up ground to work his way back into 3rd. Jacob Bernhardt of Germany took a tight inside line on the 3rd straight.
The Colombian in for the 3rd, Ramirez.
Bernhardt kept his line to qualify through in 4th.
The official is Fields, Maheu, Ramirez, and Bernhardt.
It's now time for the main events as we head back up to the top of the start hill where the women are ready for their final lap.
The 110 bike of Smolders.
It's just the same thing. I'm just gonna do my best and hopefully make it on the podium again.
The golden girl, Mariana Pajón, giving you all a wave.
I want to be better than yesterday. I want to be confident. I want to feel like Mariana is riding, like no one else.
Here we go, waiting for the call.
With the hopes of winning 2 races in a row, Laura Smolders came out of the gate ahead of Mariana Pajón. Pajón got crowded out on the first straight and quickly lost momentum. Reynolds then jumped her way into the first berm with Simone Christensen both fighting side by side for the 3rd podium position.
Right now it is Smolders and Pajón 1 and 2 with Reynolds pulling up for 3 as they head into the 2nd corner.
It's going to be Smolders leading this until the finish line with Pajón with the number 2.
Smolders rode a near-perfect lap to capture her 2nd win in a row with Pajón riding in for 2nd. Reynolds and Christensen fought it all the way to the line where a photo finish gave Reynolds the 3rd place overall. The top 8 elite men were now locked and loaded for the start of the men's main event.
Number 49, Tori Nyhog.
Yeah, I decided to pick outside in the main and give myself a clean shot down the first straight and into the first turn.
Next to him is Nick Heeman.
It's just mentally, it helps a little bit when you know like the crowd's behind you and when you line up on the gate and everyone's going wild.
Next to him is the Olympic champion, Connor Fields.
Being in the final is always good, but I wanted a little bit more today, so I just really focused today and grit my teeth and got to work.
Sylvain Andre, yesterday's winner and main event maker.
Whatever happened today, I'll keep a good note from that weekend. I'm going to try to keep that momentum going and do good today, next weekend in Belgium.
Joris Daudet, we have a lot of return players in this main event, that's for sure.
It's a stacked field, a lot of good riders, so you have to be consistent on the gate on the first straight.
Get ready for the call.
Nick Kimmin pulled off a great start but got pushed wide on the first turn. Connor Fields held the lead, but Joris Daudet took the inside line to claim first as the group headed into the pro straight.
Daudet, Nyhog, and Fields 1, 2, and 3.
A track-smart Tori Nyhog tucked in for the 2nd. Kimmin then made his way back into contention on the technical straight, but it was Fields who had the reserve to pump down the final straight into 3rd.
It looks like it's going to be the Frenchman Daudet for the first.
Joris Daudet stormed in for first with Tori Nyhog in 2nd.
Wow, what a race. The official, Daudet, Nyhog, Fields, Kimmin.
With back-to-back wins in both rounds 1 and 2, Laura Smolders sits atop the table with 300 points. Mariana Pajón sits back in 2nd with 210 points, and Judy Baugh is just 5 points back in 3rd. The men's standings are a lot closer with only 30 points separating the top 4. Joris Daudet and Sylvain Andre are tied for the lead with 220, while Tori Nyhog sits in 3rd and Connor Fields in 4th. That's it from Papendal in round 2 of the World Cup Tour. The riders will remain in Europe, traveling across the border into Belgium to race at Circuit Zolder. With over 50 years of racing history, Circuit Zolder in Belgium was the venue for round 3 of the 2017 UCI BMX Supercross World Cup Tour. The track here in Zolder was originally built in 2008. Since then, it's transformed into a world-level course, including an 8-meter high start hill built in 2015 when the club hosted the World Championships. At 384 meters in length, the track is compact, tight, and technical.
This track's about as opposite of Papendal as you can get. It's tight and it's technical, really not much pedaling. It's all about hitting the jumps right this weekend.
The Zolder track is really tight and technical. It's steep and sometimes you almost have to go slower to go faster.
short first straight, so inside gates are going to be really important, whereas last week guys could go outside 6, gate 8, make it happen from out there. I don't think it's going to be like that this weekend.
At the end of the first straight over that quad, it really opens up into the first turn. It's pretty wide, so the closer you can get to the inside and kind of carve low and sprint out, the better. It'll make it a lot harder for people to come underneath you and pass you.
Compared to Papendal, we're probably taking 20% amount of the pedals. After the first turn here, you really take 3 cranks the whole rest of the track.
You're gonna have to make backsides count because, if you miss a pump, the next jump is kind of in your face and it's tricky.
It's got some sections that people do different lines on. So you might have one guy jumping while one guy's on the ground and vice versa. So it does make it exciting for the fans because there are multiple line choices. It's about smooth laps all day long, staying on the inside gates and executing when it matters.
And the start list reads: Smolders, Pahon, Bao, Hernandez, Stancil, Reynolds, Veinsta, and Admakina. Waiting for the call.
Mariana Pahon, Laura Smolders, and Stephanie Hernandez all stormed out of the gate and down the first straight.
Looks like Pahon goes out of her way just a bit to shut Smolders down as they go into the first corner. So it's going to be Pahon, Smolders, and Hernandez, 1, 2, and 3.
Lauren Reynolds snuck into 4th on the 3rd berm to take the last qualifying spot behind Hernandez. Smolders just passed Pahon at the line, earning herself first lane choice rights for the final.
The official: Smolders, Pahon, Hernandez, and Reynolds.
With the top 8 women now moving on to the final, it was time for the men to battle on through. In Semi 1, Olympic champ Connor Fields got the whole shot ahead of Corbin Sherratt coming out of lane 2. Australia's Anthony Dean got the inside lane out of lane 4 to tuck in behind the 2 leaders.
Fields, Sherratt, Dean, 1, 2, and 3 coming out of the second corner.
The rest of the pack battled it out for the last qualifying spot down the pro straight. It was Argentina's Federico Villegas who managed to position himself down the 3rd straight to secure the last qualifying spot.
Fede Villegas with the 4th place, along with Anthony Dean, Corbin Sherratt, and Connor Fields. Vanderberg, Tremanis, Evans, Andre, Graf, Kadyshev, Stindl, Nyhog.
In the second semi-8, Zeus Tremanis from Latvia got closed out on the start hill by Dave Vanderberg and Kyle Evans.
Vanderberg, Tremanis, and Evans. Evans seems to be in a bit of trouble because Graf is in 3rd with Andre in 4th.
Tremanis took the smart inside line to work his way back into 2nd on the pro straight. Graf, Andre, and Nyhog fought for the last 2 qualifying positions down the 3rd straight, with Nyhog and Graf moving on.
Vanderberg, Tremanis, Graf, Nyhog for the official.
With the semis now done and dusted, it was all eyes to the top of the hill as the women made their way up the stairs and into the gate for their main event.
From Venezuela, Hernandez.
I did a good semifinal. I say, wow, if I can do this in semifinal, so I will just give my everything on the final.
And the golden girl, we have Mariana Pahon.
Even if I already won World Championships or even the gold medal, I want to be even better. That's why I wake up every day to just be better than yesterday.
With the best result from the semis, it was Laura Smolders who took the inside in lane 1, with Mariana Pahon next in lane 2.
A lot of talent on the gate as we wait for the official call.
Pahon had a great snap off the gate and dove to the inside to close out Smolders at the bottom of the hill. Former world champion Stephanie Hernandez also got a great start from lane 5 to work her way into 2nd in the first turn. Denmark's Simone Christensen aced the 2nd straight and passed Hernandez on the inside of the first berm to move into 2nd.
Pahone in that first place position with Christensen in second, Hernandez in 3, going down that third straightaway.
Riding a strong lap, Christensen tucked in behind Pahone to earn the second, with Hernandez holding off the pack to earn the third podium position.
The official is Pahone, Christensen, Hernandez, Reynolds, Sudarova, Smolders, and Bondarenko.
Weather quickly became an issue for the men's final, with light rain and wind starting to blow.
Here's the lineup: Fields, Schirra, Vandenberg, Tremanis, Dean, Graff, Villegas, and Nyhog. Lane 8, Canadian, Tori Nyhog.
When I line up on the gate for a main event, I'm just staying relaxed and just focusing on what I have to do. At that point, everyone's fast. You just have to really focus on maximizing yourself and doing the best you can do.
If you make the final, anybody could win the race. It doesn't matter what gate you're in, and I've always believed that. So I come in with a fresh mind and to go out there and give it my all.
The other USA rider, Olympic gold medalist Connor Fields, he's in lane 1. Destiny is in his hands. So we're on deck. Elite men.
Corbin Schirra had a slow start as fellow American Connor Fields and Dave Vanderberg took the lead into turn 1.
Fields just takes that line, takes the lead.
With Fields and Vanderberg both leading the race, it was a fight over the third and final podium spot. Latvia's Edzus Tremanis rocked the technical straight and pumped himself into third position in the last turn. Connor Fields, the Olympic champion, showed his mastery of the track and crossed the line in first.
Fields, Vandenberg, Tremanis, Dean, Nyhog, Villegas, Schirra, and Graff.
After 3 rounds, Laura Smulders sits atop the women's rankings with 380 points and Mariana Pahone in second, just 20 points behind. With a third and a first, American Connor Fields sits atop the men's rankings with 340 points.
If you win on day 1 or if you get 8th on day 1, you have to just kind of chop it, let it go, and it's a new day today, because I'm not going to line up in the gate today and people aren't going to be like, oh, he won yesterday, we'll let him go. You just got to go out and you got to race again. It's just a new day.
Today is a little bit windy, so it's challenging for me as I don't like wind at all. It's good for racing, it's good for training also. So I just gonna be motor by motor and step by step, and we'll see what happens.
With back-to-back wins in Papendal, Laura Smulders of the Netherlands leads the women's standings at 380 points ahead of Colombia's Mariana Pahone and Simone Christensen of Denmark. With a big win at round 3, American Connor Fields sits atop the rankings with 340 points, with Canada's Tori Nyhog in second and Dutchman Dave Vanderberg in third. In the first of the men's semi-finals, the Dutch Army was out in full force, but former world champion Nick Kieman had a bad start and fell back at the bottom of the hill. Anthony Dean and Edzus Tremanis locked bars and went wide in the first turn, dropping them to the back of the pack.
Schirra, Van Gent, and Vandenberg with Rick Carell in fourth.
Schirra rode his best lap of the day that crossed the line in first, with Van Gent in second, Pelluard in third, and Jeremy Renkerl in the fourth.
Schirra, Van Gent, Vandenberg, and Renkerel. That is the first 4. Heat number 2, semifinal, elite men.
In the second semi, French riders Romain Mathieu and Sylvain André took control from the inside lanes. After losing control in turn 1, Nyhog regained his composure to ace the second straight and tuck into third on the second turn.
Looks like it's the 2 French riders, but it's all about third and fourth position.
Mathieu made it over the line in first, with teammate André in second, Tori Nyhog in third, with Graff grabbing the photo finish fourth.
The official is Matthew Andre Nyhog Graff.
After the action-packed semis, riders regroup before once again making their way up to the top of the start hill for their main event.
There's our starting lineup. Smolders, Pahone, Bondarenko, Hernandez, Christensen, Bao, Hausman, and Priest.
Judy Bao.
If you are in the final, then it's just having fun. Just go for it and don't think, just go. Give everything you have.
210, Simone Christensen.
Making a final and then going for the podium is like my goal for today. Would be cool to make 2 in a row, yeah.
In lane 2, Mariana Pahone.
I just go up on the gate, do my best 100% and just enjoy what I do, and that's what I do.
Next to her, Laura Smolders.
As the women are ready to go for the main event.
In a bold move to gain the inside line from gate 3, Bondarenko banged bars with Mariana Pahone as the two riders found themselves at the back of the race.
But right now it's Smolders, Bao, and Hernandez.
Smolders pulled ahead on the first straight to a good lead ahead of Judy Bao, who tucked in behind on the pro section, followed by Hernandez and Christensen. Bao cased the last jump coming into the third turn and crashed out as Christensen went wide to work her way into second position. Hernandez and Bondarenko battled it at the line for the third podium spot, with Hernandez taking it right on the line.
There's your official Smolders, Christensen, Hernandez, Bondarenko.
With round 3 winner Connor Fields now out of the running, America's only chance for a win was Corbin Sherraw in lane 1.
Number 39, Sylvain Andre. He says he's going full throttle.
Big lane 8, I have 5th pick. That's Centauri, like using the lane 8 yesterday, and I didn't want to be in between like those fast guys because I wasn't the fastest.
Twan Van Gent, he's won big before.
Every race here, I'm struggling with the last straight. It's quite deep, and if you're jumping, it's slower. Manual in deep gaps is not the most easy part for me.
Number 100, Mr. Mahue.
I'm not scared about anyone. I feel just great on every race, so that's what I was looking for, and I'm happy.
Round number 4, Elite Men, final, and we're official.
Twan Van Gent stormed out of lane 3 and took the early lead into turn 1. Jeremy Renkerl made a move on the inside, banging elbows with Andre in the turn, but Andre stood his ground and emerged in second in the pro straight.
So it's Van Gent, Andre, and Renkerl.
Renkerl then slid out on the second berm and Sherraw got stuck behind the carnage. Van Gent crossed the line in first with Sylvain Andre close behind.
Twan Van Gent, Sylvain Andre, Mahue. That is the official results.
With another win here in Zolder, Laura Smolders has increased her lead in the overall standings to 530 points. The men's race is tighter, separated by a mere 25 points. With a second place in round 4, Sylvain Andre of France is back on top with 415 points. The World Cup Tour continues in South America, with the riders making their way to Santiago del Estero in Argentina for stops 5 and 6.
Totally different than Europe. When you're at the track, everybody's really happy. The spectators are really like cheering everyone on.
It's like another world, and you really have to get used to it, but the track is good and the atmosphere is just like really good. The people are going crazy.
It's good weather, it's a nice track, and we're gonna have a great weekend again.
A total of 150 points are up for grabs in round 5, and then another 150 for the winner of round 6, all of which count towards the overall titles.
I'm in first place, but I still need to have 2 decent results this weekend, so I just want to have fun and hopefully make 2 podiums and take the overall win, of course.
The track was built in 2011 and is home to the iconic twin concrete starting hills, making it one of the fastest starts on the tour. In comparison to other tracks on the circuit, Santiago del Estero is a mid-length course at 1,260 feet or 384 meters long.
I love the track. It's one of my favorites because it's super simple and it's just a really good overall race track. There's not a lot of pedaling, it's just a lot of technical skills.
Coming down the start ramp with speed, the first straight is short and fast as the riders hit the triple step up heading into turn 1.
I really like the first straight here. I think it's pretty basic and straightforward. You can just land the first jump and really open up to the turn. And you know, a lot of time now at first straights, they're really technical and we're kind of searching for backside aero, but this one is just, you know, wide open, full speed, and I like that.
Next up comes the second or pro straight where the men stay right and the women go to the left to their own separate sections, rejoining as they hit the second berm.
The second straight, it's a pretty technical one. You've got to get your landings really good and get speed out of that. So you can take it through the turn and then onto the next straight, of course, and then keep speed there.
The rhythm section splits again and forces riders to make a strategic choice. One that could cause them to lose control and fall back from contention.
It's like easier to make a mistake that can cost you. So you have to like have a good line and go through the jumps as smooth as possible.
There's a wide but tricky quad jump into the third berm that serves up several passing chances on the inside lanes.
You really have to push yourself to go into the right, get into the inside position so you can protect your lines.
You can really push hard on this track, and it also makes for a lot of passing because everyone can kind of do it fast, so the racing's usually close.
Then it's on to the third straight and over 2 sets of doubles before one last push to the finish line.
You can make the difference everywhere here. So yeah, you can make a lot of moves all around the track.
Heat 1 of the men's was stacked with Argentina's Gonzalo Molina and Ezequiel Torres coming up against both current and former world champions.
Here we go with the semifinal.
Dutchman Nick Kimmen got the best snap, but Molina took the lead into the first berm, followed by a charging Torres.
So it's Molina and Torres 1 and 2, Kimmen in third.
Kimmen lost his rhythm on the third straightaway, leaving the door open for Jelle van Gorkum to squeeze by. New Zealand's Trent Jones took the last spot, but it was the end of the day for Kimmen, Schirra, Nijhaug, and Ramirez. Connor Fields came up against series leader Sylvain Andre and Dave Vanderberg in semi number 2.
Let's get ready to drop the gate here for semifinal number 2.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Looks like Andre was off to a good start, so was Connor.
Fields and Andre took control of the heat, leaving the pack to battle it out for the last 2 qualifying spots.
Right now, it's all Fields and Andre pulling away from Sakakibara and Palmer in fourth.
Kai Sakakibara of Australia rode in for third, with Canadian James Palmer racing in for the fourth. With a disappointing 5th place finish, Kyle Evans' day was over, and a tough race also ended the day for Dave Vanderberg. With the semi-finals wrapped up, it was time for the main event with valuable points at stake and the crowning of champions for this legendary stop.
The final elite women, Pahone, Smulders, Christensen, Bondarenko.
It's just all about the mindset, like who's calm enough to just go do their best and get the best out.
Laura Smulders, she's been known to win just a few of these before.
I'm gonna go for a podium finish, of course, hopefully another win, and then hopefully I can take the overall home.
And the golden girl, Mariana Pahone, Olympic champion, former world champion. She'll be coming out of lane 1. Women's final, here we go.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Coming out of lane 1, Mariana Pahone and Laura Smulders were side by side coming down the start hill. Pahone soon worked her way into the lead as the 2 battled down the first straight.
It is Pahone running away with it with Smulders in 2 and Christensen in 3rd.
Pahone dominated the heat with Smulders in hot pursuit.
Pahone down the last straight.
Pahone held on to the lead and crossed the line in first with Smulders and Christensen in 2nd and 3rd.
The official, Pahone, Smolders, Christensen, Hernandez, Afremova.
After the women's final, it's on to the men's main event.
Elite men's start list, the heavy hitters. Connor Fields, current Olympic champion. Conman. Sylvain Andre, your points leader. He'll be coming out of gate 3.
Here with the local, they're great in the turn, so you gotta be careful everywhere. From like start to the finish, you gotta be careful.
Argentina's hope for gold rested with Gonzalo Molina and Ezequiel Torres, who secured lanes 1 and 2 for the final.
Waiting for the official call, and it's on.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Torres looked shaky coming out of the gate as Molina and Andre stormed into the lead. Torres fought back though, taking the inside line on the first berm to put himself back into contention. Torres was a man on a mission, jumping himself into the lead ahead of Molina on the second berm. Connor Fields and Sylvain Andre battled it out for third position down the technical straight. Torres never let up and crossed the line in first, followed by teammate Gonzalo Molina. Sylvain Andre of France rode a strong lap to grab the last spot on the podium.
Wow, what a great race. The crowd is going crazy. Argentina Torres, Argentina Molina.
That's it from round 5 of the World Cup Tour. The finale, round 6, is also hosted here on the same track.
I had a great day yesterday. Gonna try to repeat, be in the main, be on the podium, and whatever it takes to keep the red plate and the overall win.
Yesterday I thought I was fast enough to win. I just made a couple of little mistakes here and there that kind of cost me. I made a mistake in that semifinal, cost me on the gate pick, and I didn't have the best start in the final and got 4th place. And I was kicking myself all night last night. I'm coming all the way down here, it's 35 hours of travel, and it feels a little better on the way home when you get a win,
Frenchman Sylvain Andre tops the men's rankings with 530 points, followed by Connor Fields of the US with 470. Dutch rider Laura Smulders is still atop the rankings at 660 points. Marianne Pahone moves into second with her round 5 win, and Simone Christensen of Denmark remains in the hunt for the title.
It's going to be a fight with Marianne and Simone, I guess. Of course I want to win it, but first I got to do good laps to get a good result, to get the points for the overall title.
Winning the day before, it motivates you. It tells you that if you did it once, you can do it again. I'm going to focus on doing a really good day, and we're here to do our best, and that's what I'm going to do.
The first of the women's semifinals saw all 3 of the title contenders in the gate, along with former world champion Stephanie Hernandez.
So here we go with semifinal number 1.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Pahone got the best gate start and led the pack into the first berm, followed by Laura Smulders in second.
Pahone going straight to the front.
Mariana Diaz used her local track smarts by holding back down the start hill before taking the inside line on the first berm to work her way into third on the second turn. Diaz and Smulders fought their way down the third straight, with Smulders battling hard for every point, jumping into second on the third berm.
Pahone is running away with it, followed by Smulders.
Christensen managed to cross the line in fourth, with Pahone, Smulders, and Diaz all qualifying through.
The official, Pahone, Smulders, Diaz, and Christensen.
The women's field was now down to the final 8, and it was time for the men to run their semifinals.
Here we go with the semifinal.
In Semi 1, series contender Twan Van Gent stormed out of lane 3 with series leader Sylvain Andre spinning hard to catch the leader. Ezequiel Torres lost control, ending up sideways as he fell off the pace. Trey White, Kyle Evans, and Tori Nahag were all fighting to catch the leaders, riding in formation.
Looks like Evans is getting cut off by Trey White, his teammate.
Van Gent was a man on a mission, taking the win with Andre Nijhag and Trey White all moving on. Round 5 winner Ezequiel Torres' quest for back-to-back wins came to an end after he missed the cut.
USA, Colombia, Argentina, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, USA, and France. Definitely a great cast of characters.
Let's get ready to drop the gate here for semifinal number 2.
Heat 2 saw Connor Fields take full advantage of lane 1, taking the fastest line into the first berm. Carlos Ramirez held back on the gate and then took the inside line as he worked his way into second on the second straight, chased by Molina and Chirac. Navrestad moved into third on the pro straight, putting Chirac on the bubble in fifth. A desperate Navrestad managed to hold onto his position in the last berm and pulled away from Chirac. Connor Fields kept his lead and crossed the line in first, with Ramirez, Molina, and Navrestad all qualifying through.
Fields, the Magician, Ramirez, Molina, and Navrestad.
The battle is on for the day's event, but more importantly, the Supercross title for 2017.
The World Cup, it's like the most consistent rider throughout the year, so it definitely means a lot. Hopefully I can do good enough to take the overall home.
Makes you wonder if Mariana Pajón, what her strategy might be out of lane 1, being next to the points leader.
I love this sport, I love BMX. I'm having fun every time I go up on the gate, so it's easy for me to come to a track and just do my best every time.
Women's Elite Final. This one is for all the marbles.
Watch the gate.
Pajón and Smulders hit the bottom of the hill in the lead, but Pajón soon pulled ahead. Local rider Mariana Diaz used a slow start to then take the inside on the first berm to make her way into third, battling Judy Bao on the pro straight.
Right now it's Pajón running away with it, followed by Smulders.
Diaz tried to pass on Smulders for second, but the Dutch rider kept pace and staked her claim on second place.
Smulders looks like she's catching up.
Pajón took the easy win with a second place finish for Smulders, giving her the World Cup title. Mariana Diaz earned herself the third and final podium position.
The official Pajón, Smulders, Diaz, Afromova, Bao.
With the women's title decided, it was time for the men's main event.
Last final of the season. There's your Canadian national champion, Tori Nyhog. He'll be coming out of lane 8.
I'm just going to go out and ride for myself and enjoy the sport. It's a fun sport, and to be in the final, I'm really happy.
Lane 5, remember, 4th or better will keep his title alive.
Okay, Connor is on 1, I'm on 5. I got to go top 4. It's harder than the rest of the track from the outside.
Connor Fields, he's looking to get one more win under his belt. Close this season out right.
I don't travel all around the world just to be mid-pack, you know. I come to these races to perform and try and win.
Watch the gate.
Gonzalo Molina had the best snap, but Fields powered his way into the lead as the pack hit turn 1.
Ramirez is going to make the dive on Molina.
Ramirez held back on the gate and then used the inside line into the second berm to move into second.
Looks like Andre's jumping his way into third place, but we'll see. Fields, Ramirez, Andre.
Connor Fields took a convincing win with Ramirez in second, and while Andre earned the third spot, he also won the overall series title.
There's your official Fields, Ramirez, Andre, Molina, Nyhog.
Laura Smulders managed to hold on to her lead position and took the World Cup title for 2017 with 790 points.
It's been 2 really consistent seasons, so I'm really happy about those results.
I'm really happy with a second place. Even if I love winning, I know I did good. It gives you motivation to do better next year.
The men's race was closer, with Sylvain Andre earning the World Cup title with just 644 points. Connor Fields was back just 25 points and settled for second with 620, and Tori Nyhog earned third with 535 points.
My first podium actually was 11 months ago, and now, 11 months later, I had 4 in the pocket and 1 win. So that's a great feeling, and feeling like everyone is happy for you, it's a good feeling too.
That's it from Santiago del Estero for the 5th year in a row, and that wraps up an exciting season of Supercross World Cup racing. We'll be back here again in 2018 for the final in the Supercross Series, but before that, the tour takes us to Europe and the USA.